Natural Sponge and Friends podcast number 13. We are back for yet another one. The rain has not picked up at all here yet, but it's going to apparently, right?
That's what they say.
It's 417 mile an hour winds are coming at us.
It's coming. Hurricane Dorian.
Guys, thanks for listening so far. If you listen to podcast number 12, which you haven't yet because I haven't posted it, but when you do, I will not have posted this one yet. So, if you didn't listen to that one, then listen to this one. However it may be, you'll learn that hopefully the power stays on tomorrow during the hurricane activities that we're having here in Myrtle Beach, and I'll be able to have everything. Tomorrow is RSS feed day. It's going to be a fun day in the pod room. So get everything up on your local or on your cell phones and all that stuff to have it up on Libsyn, which will put us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, something called RP. I'm not that technologically advanced. Radio, app, Spotify, Pandora, and something called Deezer. You ever heard Deezer?
I have heard of that before.
Do you have Deezer?
I do not.
Huh. Cool. The guy's the guy's voice you hear in the background is podcast guest number 13. He is a former Wizard, and I use that loosely because you never know when we're going to pop off with another team, just to piss some people off. We do that randomly sometimes. And a current junior at St. James High School, but definitely a lifetime member of the Brotherhood, a big hunter, a big fisherman, a country music enthusiast as well. This guy is well-rounded in all facets of life. He is also a pirate, and we'll let him tell you about how he is a pirate, and all that fun jazz with the booty. Did you get any booty this summer on the pirate ship?
Every time we went out. Duh.
James Arnette, Big Country. Thanks for coming, buddy.
What up? Glad to be here.
Finally, you've been in the house a few times. You've been inside?
I've never been inside. I've been in the garage.
I'm telling you, we just keep people out, man. We're like, F you. No, it's cool. BP's in the room again tonight.
Yeah.
Causing a stir again, are we?
He said he's playing poker.
Playing poker?
Poker.
Oh, man. You want any money?
You're darn right.
Real money?
No.
Nah. I love the swag, though. He's got a Oakland A's hat on with an Atlanta Braves hoodie. You're a big Braves fan, right?
I am. Just got back from Atlanta.
That's cool. Did you see a game?
I did.
Wow. Who'd you watch?
It was the Braves.
Was it Braves?
Braves, White Sox.
Braves and White Sox. So did you guys get the little app? The app where you get tickets for like $4? Have you seen that?
No, I have not seen that. What is
It's
that?
pretty cool. I don't know. We need to look it up. We need to email them and say we can fluently put it into our podcast if they shoot us some change.
Heck yeah.
That'd be cool. So why are you a Braves fan? How long have you been a Braves fan?
I've pretty much been a Braves fan since I was about 10. 10 years old is when I really got into it, but it's just living in South Carolina, there's not really much else. It's either you're a Braves fan or somewhere in Florida. And my mom and my dad have always we've turned on the Braves, so I was like, well, might as well.
It's the Braves, and when I was growing up, you could always see the Braves and the Cubs for whatever reason. WGN would always have the games on. So 2000, or since you were 10, so how old are you now? 17?
16.
16. So you became, look at this, I'm the Wizard is an influence on baseball again. So you became a Braves fan about the same time we first started working together in baseball.
Correct.
That's awesome.
We started working in December, right before my birthday when I turned 11. So I was 10 at the time.
Right. So you were just now, you kind of made that little switch into baseball mode, full gear.
Full gear.
That's
full
awesome. That's awesome. So, we got to go ahead and tell the story since we're on the baseball thing. This guy worked his tail off all summer, made a huge commitment to his body, eating right. And how many days did you? Now there's off days. We don't count off days in the weight room. How many days did you miss that you wanted to lift out of what's a summer 80 days?
Something like that.
Out of 80, and then you take let's say out of 60 days, how many days did you actually miss that you didn't go to the weight room and work out?
It wasn't very many. It was probably between 3 and 5. I can remember clearly 3 days after work, after being a pirate. Pirate. That we had some 12-hour days, and I was like, man, I need to go, but I just can't do it.
Right.
And so I remember 2 or 3 of those clearly, and then there was probably a couple other ones in there that something popped up or something with the truck or something.
There you go. So what made the commitment as you're going into your junior year in high school? What was the ultimate factor to make you switch from I'm going to work out with the team, I'm going to work out some here and there, I'm going to go work out with with me, or you're going to work out by yourself, or what was the switch to say, hey, I want to do this for a long time. I'm going to make a commitment, and it wasn't bullshit. Like some people, I mean, I swear we were at the cages all summer, and working out with tons of guys, and then all of a sudden the school gets back in, and poof, everybody's there. There was nobody there but our guys all summer.
Right. All I saw there was me, you, B, and Burgess, Brackett, all them boys.
Yeah, just the brotherhood.
Yeah.
That's all it was. And then poof, all of a sudden, everybody's back in. So what made you commit to say, now, obviously we don't know what everybody was doing, but since school's been back in, we've seen a lot of guys, and they haven't changed. You obviously have put on some weight, and if you haven't put on weight on the scale, you put on some muscle. That's for sure. You're starting to get that little like V. My mom called it V in high school and college. I had like this V going where you're like jacked up here, and then I said that's where you hit bombs, right there in the V. So what made you make the commitment?
Really, the commitment just came from me wanting to go further. There was a few factors. There was three main ones in my head that kind of stuck out where I was like, well, can't have this happen again, or can't let that get to me too bad. But really, it was those three things all put together, and there was like an internal fire built up, and I was like, well, this fire's burning, and we ain't gonna let it burn out. So I just went for it full throttle all the way.
That's awesome, man. And we'll talk more about it as we go. But you have a phenomenal supporting cast as your family at home. A lot closer to your dad than anybody else in your family, your sister, your mom. But Jim Arnette is one of the greatest men, and to be completely honest, and again natural, and by now, if I'm gonna say what I want on this sucker, Jim Arnette, your father, is the best man I have met in Myrtle Beach since I moved here in 7 years. Hands down.
I appreciate that, and I know he does as well. But I definitely have the best support system, best family there is. I couldn't ask for anything more.
So what is, on the long days you're working, and you were going to work with him too, which I still, there's no way he runs a landscaping business or a maintenance, whatever he wants to call it. This guy's in the CIA or something. He's got a different job. See,
I'm telling you,
dude. He trimmed some trees. He sniped some people. I don't know. No, completely joking. Everybody out there, don't go looking into what Jim does.
If you actually look on his Facebook page, his profile picture is him shooting a Barrett 50 cal. So there is that.
Well, there we go. See, now we are raising some eyebrows out there. No, he's an awesome dude, man. So he's always been supportive with you, even when you were absolutely god awful at the sport, and we'll get into that. And I say that's how much I love James. We're so close. I can say that without him getting mad at me.
It's the truth.
And epitome of hard work, man. But the days you were working, so you didn't work with him as much as you had planned.
Right. I originally coming into the summer, I planned on working with him. My original plan was work with him 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, and then go to a boat job on the inlet for a sunset cruise of some kind in the afternoon between 3 and 5 days a week as well. That kind of changed very quickly.
Right. Why is that?
With the pirate ship, I got an offer to do some more work other than the sunset cruises. And so I jumped on that because, I am 16 years old and the pirate boat was fun for me, so I might as well.
Right. So on the pirate job, I told you guys he was a pirate. So did you dress up like a pirate? I saw one shirt where your shirt's like ripped and stuff like that. So did you dress up like face paint? Did you wear an eye patch or?
Well, we have two different types of pirates. We have the one pirate that the picture that you saw was when I was on the big boat, like running the trip, quote unquote.
Right.
And then we also have the bad pirate, which the kids battle. When you're the bad pirate, which I did both, I primarily did the bad pirate this summer because I was in training for the big boat. So the bad pirate, you do dress up. You have a full coat, full hat, beard, everything.
Sweet. I bet they got hot though.
Well, you got to jump in the water, so it wasn't too bad. And then on the big boat, I just had like a pair of shorts, ripped up shorts, and that ripped up shirt.
Awesome. Did you ever throw any kids overboard?
No, but that's actually part of my jokes. When I'm on there, I pretend that I do.
That's all. Did you want to though? Did you have like some snot-nosed little kid like?
Oh, of course. There's always those kids that just won't shut up, or like they'll jump in your face or something like, sit down.
That's awesome.
But I love it. I couldn't ask for anything more than that.
So that came, and your dad's cool with you. Say, go do your thing. Go do that.
Yeah, it actually started the day after the Country Music Fest. So I think that was June the 10th. I started that Monday morning. And funny story, that whole staff of the Pirate Boat went to the Country Music Fest as well.
Oh.
And so I showed up 8 o'clock the next morning because I thought we were going to do training. Well, the pirate ship was closed. So I had to come back on that Tuesday.
They were closed because they was all at the show.
Right, that night. So was I. But I showed up. Then we showed up on Tuesday. That Monday afternoon, I went to work with my dad just afterwards because there's nothing else for me to do. Then Tuesday, I went to training on the boat. And originally, I wasn't going to work on the boat at the office. I was going to work in the office. That's what I went there for. Other than the sunset
saw your
cruises.
magical charisma.
That's what they said. They said, you've got a personality. I said, oh, wow, okay.
Well, not many people do down here. I mean, they are not even down here in the world these days. In America, we're personality-less because of our social media, but that's later.
And so I showed up on that Tuesday, and they were like, okay, well, you got a personality. We want you to come ride on the boat. And I was like, oh, cool. I love riding on boats. Let's see what you got. And so I think it was the following Wednesday that I rode on the boat with them. I saw an official trip of what they do there, their full business. And they're like, you think you can do it? And I was like, heck yeah, I can do it. I know I can.
Yeah.
I'm up to the challenge.
Awesome.
I'm not going to say no. And the rest is history. Started training that next week, and now I'm a full-time pirate.
That's cool. No days off in the pirate land.
Never.
So any time through these long 12-hour, 14-hour days that then you leave and you go lift weights, or we had some days where, let me tell you guys something out there. I know everybody out there that listens doesn't know sponge that well, if at all really, except for what I say on here. But I'm not getting up early in the morning for anything. Like literally anything. We had a couple lessons this summer, workouts this summer at 6 a.m.
And this man beat me once.
I got there one time. I beat him there. How about that? Let's go. But I always would tell him the night before to give me a wake up call and make sure I was up. But it gets tough. But anytime did mom, dad say, hey, you're running yourself too thin, like slow down, or did they say go ahead and go lift if that's what you like to do?
Of course, they didn't want me to hurt myself, and so after those long days, they'd be like, "Well, make sure you're eating enough." My mom's big on staying hydrated. She want me to drink enough water, drink Gatorade, stuff like that.
Yeah, I stay very hydrated.
Of course, might not be the same way, but it's similar.
Keith Stone has my back.
But of course, they didn't want me to hurt myself. But it's not. It's like they understand why I'm doing what I'm doing, and they understand why I bought in and trying to go so hard. So they're like, "Okay, well, if you got to do it, just go for it."
And I know it's a stupid question, but your work ethic, direct reflection from your dad?
Of course. He grew up in King Street, South Carolina, which is about an hour and a half inland from Myrtle Beach. And he worked on a farm literally his entire life until he was 18, and he moved here. So, and he'll tell you stories. I think he'll come on here eventually.
Oh,
he'll be on here.
Gotta have him on.
And he's got stories.
We'll have to scratch his identity probably or something.
He's got stories of him working on I think it was a flower farm or something. He said you work 7 days a week, no matter what.
And that's how they work. That's how my dad worked with Grandpa, man. Tobacco fields, watermelon fields, everything, dude. So, yeah, and that's probably why, we've kind of connected so well, especially me with your family, is just our backgrounds. We're not the norm, and because a lot of people in Myrtle Beach are.
They're not from here,
They're
really.
not from here.
If you
They're
look
from
around,
north.
if you look around at the diversity of the school we go
transplants.
to,
Oh yeah,
most of them are from the north. We went through at the beginning. We just started school a couple weeks ago, obviously.
Yeah.
And in one of our classes, we went around and we're seeing how many people were from actually here, and I think there was 4 of us in the whole class. So
that's crazy, man. And that's what I'm saying is just the transplants and then the natural. Because Jim has taught you well. I said it on podcast 12 about how when I grow up I want to be like you. But he's taught you well, but he is never, what he says is what it is. He's not gonna buy into the complainers at baseball fields. He's not gonna bitch and moan about it. Everything is what it is, and if you don't like something, you go fix it. If you do like something, you keep grinding at it. You know what I mean?
That's the way it is. He taught me. There was one time I remember distinctly where this popped out. We were parasailing for my grandma's 79th birthday.
Oh, she was up there?
She was.
There you go, Grandma.
Got the pictures to prove it.
That's awesome.
And I said something to my aunt. I was like, it's just another thing. It's not, nothing to worry about. And that kind of comes from him, too. It's not, it is what it is, just like he said.
Right. So I meet you when you said you just turned 11.
I was 10.
10.
I'm born in February, so we were in December before I turned 11.
Gotcha. So at the time, we had my first ever indoor facility in Myrtle Beach, and it was.
We were at Market Commons for the first lesson.
Were we?
I'm pretty sure, weren't we?
We were, and then we came to the den.
Right.
Because I remember we did work out there a couple of times.
Yeah.
That's right.
And it was freezing.
Yeah, it was. And then we got the indoor facility, and I was like, I think your dad had texted me, and I'm like, why the hell are they texting me again? Like, what? This kid's not doing something else yet? So, so we work out. And that is true. That's awesome. So we're working out at Market Commons, and even at the den, same way. So I must have got that in like February or something of the next year.
Right, because it was still cold. I was wearing hoodies when we would go over there.
So the first 6 months to 8 months, let's say 6 months, we worked out once or twice a week. We do like 30 minutes one time, an hour one time. We would throw, we would hit, we would do our thing. And if I flipped you, we would do a lot of tee work because, and I went through a lot of tees too during James Arnette's young tenure.
Very true.
But, it was just a kid that wanted to play baseball. And at the time, you were coming with somebody. You were like doubling up back to back. It was the kid that's doing robotic stuff now. He went to Seaside with you.
Jack.
Yeah,
man.
Right.
He's very smart.
How's he doing? Yeah, he's a genius.
He's good. He's taking some very high advanced classes in school.
He's good. The big Alabama fans are Bama people.
Yep. His sister graduated from there a couple weeks ago.
Awesome. Congrats.
Yeah, I think it was in the fall.
Congrats. If I flipped him 100 balls, if he 100 balls off the tee, he would hit 20 of them. If I flipped him 100 balls in front toss, he would hit 4 of them.
There we go.
Yeah, and he kept wanting to. I don't know. Something stuck out with you. And one day we're about. I guess it took me long enough, right? But about three months into our workouts, or probably like 20 workouts in, you were big and strong then. You know what I mean? And so you're swinging, and all of a sudden I say, hold on, let me see this. And I get your bat. You remember that?
Of course.
And
I still have that bat,
do you?
I think. I'm pretty sure.
And it was a Little League bat. And you were 11 when we figured this out.
Right.
And you easily could be swinging the BB course at the time. And you jumped from, what size was that? Like a 29, 19 or something?
Yeah, it was a drop. It was drop 10.
Yeah, and as strong as he is, guys out there, and y'all can say I'm wrong about this, but I know I'm not. When kids are swinging bats, and this is how Beckett was last time, I kind of figured this out again, was when you're swinging and kids, the bat's too light for them, they don't feel what they're swinging. They don't feel that how to get the barrel there and all that stuff. And once you made that switch with a heavier bat, I think we actually started using it was either like Troy Hancock's bat or they left there or something like that at the old den. When you started using that heavier bat, you started making contact. And then once he started making contact, he started saying, okay, this is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I can do it now.
Yeah. And just the growth, and we tell this story all the time. We told it to the kids at the Mako's workout we did to support Gervais Syndrome Foundation at the time. For their travel team, and then we've talked about it. I think we talked about it to Beckett. We talked about it to a lot of the younger guys. Is don't get frustrated in it because James Arnette is the epitome of hard work. I worked out with this guy this morning, and thinking about it now, it almost gives me chills. It does give me chills. 7 years ago or 6 years ago, to go from a guy that would not even make contact to be where you are now, driving balls in gaps and balls coming off at 100 miles an hour, exit velocity and all that bull crap. Like there's no other word except for dedication, hard work, and all the little cliches you want to say, man. It's awesome.
That's all it is. It's just like life. It's anything in life, not even just baseball, sports, whatever you play. It's in life. If you work hard at something, if you got a business, if you work hard at it, you can grow it. It's just the way it is.
That's it, man. And for you, especially at that age, and people will say that, I can go to a 10U, 11U, 12U game right now, and even at this age, there's going to be a handful, maybe 3-4 guys in a whole tournament that may make it to collegiate level that I was wrong about. But you can walk and you can handpick 2 guys off each team. That kid will play college baseball. That guy will play, even at that age, right? And you'd have been the handful that I would not have picked. And that, but the ability for you to struggle so mightily at that young age, just in practice, and still want to show up, that right there shows a lot about you, the character you have. You know what I mean?
Can't never give up. Never.
You know, if it's something you want to do it. You know what I mean?
For it.
Something
Always.
you want to do it. But the difference is with you and some guys that even you play against or with now is and you don't have to say nothing back to this. You know, I don't want people to take it the wrong way like you're talking junk about them. But there's a lot of guys just that you play with in high school that don't have that it factor, that they don't really want to do. It's something they do, you know?
Right.
And you see that not just in baseball, but in every sport. This is, well, I'm a football player. It's what I do. But they're never giving that extra. You know what I mean? Like today, you went and worked out today?
I did. We did that little conditioning workout in the cage. Yeah, I had to go change my shirt at the house.
Right, there you go.
So I drove home with no shirt on, and then got a new shirt, and then went and lifted. Yes.
So you're up at 7 a.m. We do a workout where we hit and did some defensive stuff yesterday. You were Energizer Bunny yesterday for sure.
I was rolling yesterday.
He
for
was,
some
man.
reason.
We had to do everything's locked up around this town now for the hurricane, so we had to do some parking lot work with tennis balls. But get stuff done, dude. But so 7 a.m. you get up, you get to the cages at 8. We work. We do a 10-minute workout, which will lay 90% of people on their butts, and then you go home, change clothes, and then you go to the weight room.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I did.
That's it.
I think
it's just second nature now.
Yeah, my mom actually. I talked to my mom for a little bit just because she was up, so I was going to talk to her, and then no time. I drank a bottle of water and off again. Went to the weight room.
That's it, dude. You can't beat it. Guys out there that you know, if you're on the fence about something athletically that you're doing, or even, you know, like you said, business related, entrepreneurs, guys, if you're on the fence about something and you go all in, go all in.
All the way, all the time.
James Arnette is the epitome of going all in on something. The guy's changed his body, changed the way he eats and hydrates, and did a full-time job all summer while doing it. And it's obviously paying off because you absolutely stroked today.
And I want to hit on the eating thing for just a second. This weekend I was in Atlanta for the concert, for a game and everything. Well, we ate a good bit of fast food just because we were stopping on the road. We'd stop after we got back from the concert. And so I ate that probably for a good 3 or 4 days straight, you know, not the healthiest stuff ever. And it was weird because I've ate so well over the summer, then get that. And then I started working out again. I felt so much better from the weekend these last 2 days. It was incredible.
Really?
That stuff is not good for you.
You feel the difference just like that.
Literally yesterday when I got done working out with you and then working out in the weight room yesterday, I was like, there's no way that stuff's good. Because I feel so much better already.
That's great. So it just bogs you down.
Yeah, it was like, it's not like you feel like sick or like bad.
Right.
It's just like you can feel it in your body. You feel groggy. You don't feel the same.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
Did you hear that, BP?
Yeah.
Mr. McDonald's over there?
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was McDonald's, man.
I'm telling you, it'll get you every time. So you went down to, but to stay on baseball real quick. You made the commitment. You played for the Wizards for the season, and that was a time. Actually, were we the only travel ball team you played for?
Yes.
There you go.
I practiced with some other ones. Practiced with some before, but
and then he saw. He was like, I gotta stay as Ard, baby. Look at this on TV. They're actually showing you there's nothing happening weather-wise, so they're having to show you digitally CGI, computer-generated images here, how bad you're going to die in this storm. Look at this. They didn't rip the car up.
That car is upside down.
I'm telling you.
6 foot. That ain't. Mm-mm.
I'm telling you. While we're on it, the Weather Channel, you guys are insane. You just sit around and go to the worst possible places. You jump in the ocean and then fall over when a wave hits you and act like, oh my God, what happened? Well, you were in the ocean, a wave came, you moron.
They got that water coming up almost over that light pole. That's not right.
If that happens, we in a world of trouble. But we gotta be prepared, right? So back to baseball. So you play with us, had a pretty good stint. Played right field a lot. Played some center field.
Played a little bit of center field.
I know you worked first base in some practices.
I did.
You threw bullpens a couple summers in workouts. I think you should still throw some bullpens.
Down.
Be a one out guy, 2 out guy. Who cares? Do your thing, dude. But moving into your varsity year, what's your mindset going in? Because I'm the epitome of every high school coach has to hate me, because college level guys, they'll agree to me, but they'll still have to say their bullshit to their players about team and all that and program. And there's a way to be a program like the Brotherhood is, Diamond Wizards baseball, without having team first and all this BS, right? We play together. My right fielder don't need to know my third baseman for me to win a baseball game.
I remember the day you started telling me about that, where I don't need to know the center fielder or my third baseman. You said this is what you told me. I think we're at Market Commons. You said the only people that might need to know each other is the starting pitcher and the catcher, so they can get their signs together in the bullpen.
Yep. See the movement on the pitches, and get together on who's calling what the guy likes, what the pitcher likes in what situation. That's it. There's no reason to do that. So everybody has to hate me a little bit because I am a player guy, meaning there is absolutely no way in hell that if St. James wins, you're a junior, if your high school wins back-to-back state championships and you suck, that you're going to go play college baseball.
Right.
St. James can go 0-25 and you're a stud. Guess who's going to play college baseball?
The stud.
The stud. You are.
Not the team.
Right. So moving forward, in your eyes, what does James Arnette need to do? What is your plan moving forward through these fall workouts that get frustrating, and through the winter, Christmas break, all that stuff? What's your mindset moving forward for James Arnette to move in and have a hell of a junior season in high school?
Well, obviously it's to continue to keep working hard. You can't stop that. It's the weight room. We're going to hit it continually, hitting it hard, keeping the nutrition going. And then in the cages, on the field, working hard, trying to stay more consistent. That's what we stayed with this summer. That's
right.
Kind of the overarching goal we had, was to get more consistent. Stay with that. Just stay with the plan. I got to be more consistent. I got to work harder. And then it's just like that. Stay doing my thing.
That's it. That's what I've always said. I remember some guys I had back in the day on the first Wizards team, they were like, oh man, this kid's playing over me, and this is stupid. He sucks. And I said, here's bottom of the line. If you go out in BP and practice and you win every sprint, you win every drill, you hit every ball out of the park, you hit every ball through the fence, and you're not starting, then we have a problem. I'll take care of it.
Then there's the problem.
You'll see Coach John come showing up at somebody's front door, all right, somebody's office at the school system. But at the end of the day, we can bitch him on and say, well, this guy's playing over me, but I'm really better than him. But have you shown it? You know what I mean?
Right.
And through work ethic and everything, I know you're primed to show it. You know what I mean?
That's what
you're
we're going to try to do.
You're ready to
Just
go.
got to go out there and keep doing my thing.
So besides baseball, you have a very interesting off-field hobbies. A lot of guys say they can go out and say they love fishing, and they can be bass fishermen, and they can do this and that, and run a trot line and do everything, and then you can be a hunter. You can go and put your deer heads on your wall, and you did all this stuff, right, Bo? But you can listen to your country music while you do it. You throw your little grizzly in. Don't be the guy, though, if you ever don't dip, though, okay? Don't ever dip. I dip. But if you ever do, don't be the guy that pulls his lip out like this and puts his little head like this. Oh, gosh, I can't stand that. I went hunting one time with a guy in college, and he did that. I want to smack it out of his mouth. I don't know where I got on that for, but in growing up, there's not many people like you in Myrtle Beach. There's a lot of people like you in Rural Hall, where I grew up. A lot of people in what you call it, city, where your dad grew up. King Street. That's where McClary's from, isn't it?
Correct.
There you go. See, I'm all over this. But there's a lot of people like that out there. A lot of people. I'm gonna shout out Brad Pfeiffer right now in Britain's Neck. You ever been out there?
Of course.
He goes hog hunting, dude.
Love it.
His 9-year-old son jumped on a hog with a knife when he was 9.
I'm not doing that.
Stabbed that sucker. I said,
Not doing that.
boy. Yeah, go. You gotta be crazy.
I'm not doing that.
Brad's cool as heck, though. But off the field, pirate boats and working and all that. You're a big fisherman.
I am. Love fishing. Fishing's probably one of my favorite things to do.
You got some cool videos on your GoPros. I like seeing those.
I do. Those videos are fun for me to make. I enjoy capturing the moment, staying in it. But you got to live in the moment, so I'm not too focused on it. But everything that I can get, I love getting it.
Well, I like the GoPros too, man, because you're able to hook it onto something and it's there, as opposed to we went to a Jason Aldean concert last year, and damn, dude, if everybody didn't watch the whole concert through their phone, like they're literally holding it up, watching it, like, dude, Jason's right there. There he is. Why are we watching it through a screen to see him? You came to see him live, right?
Right.
And like Tucker said, I think it was podcast 1, the quality sucks when you post it somewhere. So why the hell are you doing it?
There's no point.
Enjoy the moment. You know, maybe if you're there, you got parents somewhere, you get a little clip. Hey, look where I'm at. Boom, send it. Boom,
take a quick picture.
Done.
That's what I did at this concert. Got a couple pictures with the family. Didn't mess with the phone. That's it.
There you go.
I don't need it.
Enjoy the moment.
You got to.
But, so you take the GoPro out. You guys obviously. When you're doing the pirate boat, I'm sure it helped to have tons of experience on boats. Your dad's had boats whole life, been a country boy.
Of course.
So what's your favorite, saltwater or freshwater?
I love them both. Love them both a lot. I really enjoyed catfish lining, bush lining.
Next time y'all catch some catfish, I'm trying to eat.
I got you. It's in the freezer.
Let's go.
Come over.
I'm on my way. We're going to end this podcast now, guys. Thanks for listening. We're going to James' house to.
Yeah, I love catfishing, bush lining. It's a newfound love for me. I started.
Bush light is good.
Okay. That's still good too, I guess. And me and my dad and my buddy started doing it my freshman summer, so I guess that'd be 2 years ago. And then we kind of did it a little bit and got better at it through the fall, and then got better at it through the summer, and then had a great this spring in March, April, and May. Had a great spring, and then going to try to do it again this fall. But saltwater fishing's fun. I do enjoy doing that. Trout fishing, I love that. It's probably one of my most favorite things to do in fishing-wise.
So what exactly is bush lining?
Pretty much you go out there in the evening, nighttime. And
this at ponds, lakes, or in the waterway?
I go in the river.
Is that the waterway?
Correct. The Intercoastal Waterway, Waccamaw River.
Okay, gotcha.
All over. The Black River, we've done it in Kingstree.
Gotcha.
And you have this piece of cord, and it's tied to a hook, obviously, and a weight, and then you put a piece of bait on there, and you literally tie it to a limb, and come back in the morning, and there's a fish on it.
There you go.
It's like magic.
It just happens. It's like my papa. He always put out turtle traps.
Oh yeah.
And at the pond at my house where I grew up, and one time he put out, I think like 7 or 8 of them, and he had this big old truck, and they ended up having a big old snapping turtle in the back of it. Now, I'll never forget. I was young, looking in the back, standing on the tire, looking over. That son was trying to get out, trying to get you, and at the old trucks, no liner, nothing. And,
straight metal bed.
Yeah, it's it, man. And so it was cool. I remember that. But one time he came over, and he was going to get up early. Dad worked second shift, and he said, Dad told Papa, said, you make sure you get me up when you come. I'll come help you, Ralph. Ralph was his name. And so we had this little John boat. John boats don't have motors on them, by the way.
My John boat has a motor on it.
Okay, well, it's not a John boat. It's an Arnette boat.
Okay.
John boats have paddles.
That's a paddle boat.
There you go.
You never buy a boat without a motor.
Oh, no, a little pond isn't. Yeah, dude, it's just nice and easy. I don't want nobody. I don't want to hear no motor. I just want to go out there away from everybody.
I have one of those at my farm pond too. So.
There you go. So he goes out. He gets it out. He goes out, and apparently he couldn't reach something. He never woke up Dad, by the way. So he couldn't reach something, and eventually fell in. I don't know if he got bit by a moccasin or a black snake. Okay, but he got bit on his arm. I remember Papa knocking on the door at 5 in the morning or whatever it was, 6 in the morning, and standing there drenched with a big old snake bite on him, and just, I think all he said was, give me a towel. He didn't care about the snake bite, just give me a towel. He's just old, rough, tough ass dude. So I remember that those are fun times, man, and just going fishing, and the days that you hope nothing bites, so nobody just disturbs you.
Oh yeah, man, just sit there just to get away. That's the way it is.
So you guys don't have you guys got a couple books, don't you?
We do, and we're actually trying to sell one.
You still the same one?
Yeah.
Somebody go out that yet?
Well, we haven't really tried as hard as we should.
I hear you.
But
if somebody wants it, you talk to them about it.
Of course.
There you go. So you guys take it out often, or as often as you can, or?
We actually use what we call our John boat more. The fiberglass boat we haven't used as much as we should, to be completely honest.
Right.
But John boat, we go as much as we can. That's that boat is jam up.
Gotcha. And you guys have a lot of land in Kingstree and stuff like that, right?
We do. We have, I think it's about 80, 90 acres in Cade, South Carolina, just outside of Kingstree.
Gotcha. And what do you do there? More fishing or hunting?
Definitely hunting over there. We do have a pond, and there's bass and brim and stuff in there, but primarily we go hunting over there. That's what we do.
Gotcha. Before we get on the hunting side of things, I have to ask. You hear the old Lord?
Oh no.
Have you ever heard of such a thing? Now I think you said you listened to the Hunter Spencer podcast.
I think I know where this is going.
You heard
yes.
I was going to ask you about this.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of, now I'm not saying compare it to this or that, have you ever heard of power fishing?
Never heard of that in my entire life.
There we go. That's just I moved down here and I like fishing. That's what I did growing up. You have a pond, you go fishing.
Right.
You're a country boy, you
throw the line in the water and wait for the bobber to go down, something like that.
You run out of bait or whatever you think it is, you go down and you lift a rock up and get a worm sticker on there and go.
There you go.
Never heard of power fishing. I was working at Surfside Pier. I've heard it from many other people about this thing called power fishing where you literally throw it out, and I'm telling you, the sumbitch has not hit the water yet before you're reeling it back in. I'm like, what are you trying to catch, a bird?
No, the only
it makes
thing...
zero sense. And then they all wonder why they don't catch a bass or catch a fish. Well, probably because the sumbitch never touched the water.
They don't have a chance to get it.
that's oh my gosh. I told Hunter the other day on the podcast, I was like, I've been waiting to find out if that, like, because I've Googled it and I can't find nothing.
The only thing I've ever heard that's got close to that, Hunter mentioned the topwater fishing.
Right, I get that.
And the thing that I'm about to mention,
the B does that with that stupid frog we got down
right, there. That's good.
Yeah, that's
good. Is in you can go to, like, oh man, I don't remember where it's at right now, but you can catch something called a GT. Mm-hmm. And you have these big topwater baits, which you jerk it fast and as hard as you can. Okay. But I've never heard that called power fishing.
Right, that's what she said, by the way.
Yeah. Word.
But I'm talking, shoom, boom, it's back.
Nah.
Like,
my wrist couldn't keep up with that.
That's what she said. So
you are on fire.
I'm telling you, baby. Part 2 of the day, we're rolling. We need to get Steve from Myrtle Beach in here ASAP. Call him. Get Steve in for pod 3 of the day.
Who's Steve?
Josh's dad.
Oh, I like it.
He always calls bad boy Alan Smothers.
Okay. So, maybe you can get him on here one time.
Dude, that would be incredible, wouldn't it? Gosh, that would be phenomenal. Him and Ken Ord.
Yeah. Brayden, get on that. Call bad boy real quick.
Yeah, call him. Email him. Do something. We got so you go hunting a lot as well. Okay, before we do that, I'm learning this whole thing. Okay. So what we're gonna do is I want you to tell this story. Okay. So you love fishing. You go fishing often. You catch a lot of stuff, right? You eat your catfish. What's the oddest fish that you've caught that you ate or tried eating?
Oh man.
Have you tried whiting?
Of course.
Okay, I love that.
Eat plenty of that.
Dude, you get the little. We did this. We caught them in Surfside Pier one time when I was working there, and you get the little King's Hawaiian rolls.
Of course.
For the whiting on, little mayonnaise.
Oh yeah.
Woo! Let's go.
You got some of that in the fridge?
No, I don't. I do have some. No, I don't have it. Threw it out. I had some elk.
No way.
I did have some elk.
I want to try
Jacob Russell. I think it might be at G-Mom Pops' house.
Man.
They're right near you. Stop on the way home.
My buddy said his uncle or somebody was going to bring some elk sticks,
Dude,
and I've never seen them.
It was good. I don't know where he got it. I don't even know if it's legal. So if it is, do not have it. Nobody has it anymore. I don't know.
No, it's legal. It's 100% legal.
All right, good. So
I want some.
Yeah, Jake Russell. We'll shout out Jake. We'll get in touch with Jake. See, because I think his dad has a lot of stuff up in North Carolina.
Yeah.
So next time we roll up through, we'll grab some.
I've actually, at North Carolina, I used to go to a mountain house up there when we were a little bit younger. We've seen a bunch of elk up there, but I don't think you can hunt them up there.
Yeah, probably not. So, what's the oddest fish that you've ate?
Oddest fish that I've ever eaten? Oh, man.
It's like, you ever had goose?
No, you're not supposed to eat a goose.
Somebody cooked some goose in college.
No, that's terrible.
It was disgusting,
yeah,
bro.
bad idea.
It was horrible.
One of the smartest guys
like rubber.
I actually ever know. Like literally, dude's off the charts. He can make anything. He can do anything. It's crazy. He made goose sausage. He has like a meat processing place in his like shed. He has like a shed in the back of his piece of property, and he made goose sausage.
Was it good?
No, I didn't try it. Not eating
that. Not try it.
I don't know what the weirdest thing I've ever. I don't know. I mean, spadefish. They're a weird looking fish, I guess.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's good. It's just hard to clean.
I bet. Little bones, small little crap in there.
Yeah, that and the skin. The skin's the main part.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Gotcha. So you love hunting and all that stuff, and you've caught deer. You've hunted deer.
Oh, I was gonna wear you out on that when you said that on Hunter's podcast.
You caught.
Caught a deer. Where are you from?
See,
New Jersey.
See, I did not. I caught myself.
You did not.
Oh, I did. I said that on there.
Yes.
Oh no, I know you don't catch a deer. You kill a deer, shoot a deer. Jersey. People ask me that when I get a haircut if I'm from Jersey. Like, you sound like you're from Jersey. Do I? Really? F you. So, yeah, deer.
Right.
Rabbit.
Okay. Done that before?
Squirrels.
Of course.
What else?
Hogs.
Okay, so you have killed a hog.
I've never killed one, been hunting for them.
Okay.
With
a knife or a gun?
Gun, not planning on going knifing, but if your buddy ever wants to go shoot one, tell him to call me. I'm always down.
For sure. I'll shoot you a number when we get off this deal.
Let's do it. I'm down.
I'll show you the video too. Brad Pfeiffer.
There's a video?
Oh, he's got all kinds of videos. He's got all these big dogs with him, trained to do it. They go through the Britton Neck Woods, all that stuff, and they go hop on the hogs and kill them.
Oh, I'm down.
You can hear some just dying. I'm like, geez, oh man, blood flying everywhere. He's like, man, you'll go. I gotta take you hunting, John. I'm like, yeah, man.
Let me sit in the four-wheeler and drink beer, and how about y'all bring it back?
There we go. That's what I'm talking about, brother. That's what I'm talking about. So, but at the end of the day, you are labeled. Your name is on it. Okay, we're going to post a picture of this thing on Natural Sponge and Friends podcast. Social media outlets. James Arnette was involved in, was it the biggest?
It is the biggest alligator killed in the state of South Carolina in the past few years. It's been like 5 or 6 years running, I think.
Tell the story. I'm putting my mic down. Tell the story.
All right, so we were going out. It was a Friday night. It was kind of a pop-up trip. We went out late, and we were planning on coming back early just because the guy we were with, Mr. Landon, he had a charter in the morning. He ran charters in the offshore of Georgetown. He had a charter, and so we were going to get back early. Well, we were coming back in just after we had got stopped by the DNR, just as a regular license check. Everything was good. Nothing happened. And we shined in the spotlight, and we saw 3 to our left, so we went over there, and nothing really impressed us. We couldn't really get a hook in them. And so then we shined the light back over to the right-hand side of the river, and we saw some more over there. So we were like, all right, we're going to run over there. If we can get these, we'll get one. If we can't, we're going to take it back to the dock. Well, we saw 2 good ones, 2 10-footers, and then one that we weren't really sure how big it was. And so we threw on them, and they went down. Well, the way we do alligator hunting is we have an electronic game call. And so when we pull up on the alligators, we can call them to try to call them in closer to us. We have like male growling calls, baby calls, things like that.
Right.
And so we turn on the call, and this big head pops out the water. It obviously had gone down.
How close was it to you?
Oh, dude, I'm talking like reach out the boat. It's like right there, right there.
He popped up like a dog ready to get petted.
My dad, I had a camouflage hoodie on because we were running down the river in like mid-September, and it's pretty cold out there.
Right.
This afternoon it was cold, and he grabs my hoodie. This head coming out of the water looked like a hippopotamus head. This thing was massive, and he grabs.
I've seen the picture.
He grabs me and he says, "If it comes in, we're going out." I said, "Okay." And
so how many people were on the boat then?
At that time, there was 4.
Okay.
At that time. And so,
Oh, the story gets even better out there. This is phenomenal.
And so we throw on the alligator when he comes up for the second time, and we don't get him. We don't know what's going on. He went down. We're like, well, looks like we're going home. Well, we throw out for the last time. Mr. Landon throws out, and the way we have to catch alligators in South Carolina is not the way you catch them like you see them on TV, on Swamp People.
Right.
In South Carolina, you have to use a large treble hook connected to a fishing rod, and you have to be connected to the alligator before you kill it. That's the law.
That's the law?
Yes.
It's a lot of work.
It is, but it makes it interesting.
I'm sure it does.
That's made this story very interesting. And so Landon throws on him, and we thought we got hooked on a stump. This thing was not moving. So he's pulling on it. We're like, it's not going nowhere. We got hooked on a stump. Let's just
How big is this boat we're on?
16 foot.
Okay, so I'm thinking the whole time that I've known this story is that you guys were like in the John boat, like this some bitch is rocking back and forth. Like I'm sure it was still pulling the,
Oh yeah, we got dragged a long way.
Jeez.
And so we think it's the stump, and we're like, all right, we're just gonna cut it off and go home because Landon had a charter that next morning, and so we're pulling up, and it starts moving, and we're like, all right, this is not a stump. We got something.
It's just a hippopotamus.
We got something. And so this thing takes off. And so one of the main things we try to do, as soon as we get a fishing line in them, a fishing rod, we try to get another one, and then we try to get a hand line. Once you get the hand line, you're pretty much in control. Normally.
Right.
So we get another fishing rod in him. He breaks off. We throw another fishing rod at him. We retie that rod. He breaks off again. So now we've got one fishing rod, the only fishing rod we got. So we've got...
On the whole boat?
No, we had two fishing rods.
Oh, two fishing rods on the boat?
The singular hook that was hooked up initially was the only one in him.
Okay.
Because we broke off two others.
Right.
So then my dad throws out the hand line because we think we're like, well, last resort, we got to do that because we didn't have any other hooks left on the boat. So we get it. My dad gets him with the hand line. The hand line literally goes all the way out of his hand. He takes off running in the underwater, just swimming. So it burns my dad's hands up, and so he just lets it go, and it goes out in the water.
Yeah, screw that mess.
So now we've got the fishing rod
I ain't getting drug in
up.
that sucker.
And so this thing is just on the bottom of the river, and we can't pull it up by ourselves. So Landon calls his brother. It's like midnight. Literally, it's midnight. And Landon calls his brother, and his brother brings...
I hope y'all had some good flashlights out there.
Of course. And we had some good peanuts, which we ate every single one we had, waiting on Landon's brother to get there. And Landon's brother gets there, and he's got a 21-foot John boat. And so we get another rod in him when he gets there. And...
So how long does this take? From once y'all get in touch with Landon's brother for him to get there?
Oh, man, probably 30 minutes. He lives close.
Okay.
He lives close.
So for 30 minutes, you guys are just like...
We were literally... Landon was sitting on the front of the boat holding the fishing rod. Me and Landon's son were in the back just eating peanuts and talking. And my dad was just sitting up there.
Just waiting to see what happened.
I think he was talking on the phone.
There you
or
go.
texting somebody. And so he gets there, and we get another fishing rod in him. And then I think we break off twice more on the big alligator. And then we finally get another fishing rod. I'm holding that fishing rod. So me and Landon are pulling on it. The hand line comes back up. Robbie grabs a hold of the hand line, which is Mr. Landon's brother.
Yeah.
And the only thing I remember him saying is, oh, it's game over now. I said, oh, it about got real. And it comes up. And so we're trying to shoot it. And
What are you shooting it with?
We had a couple different guns out there that night because obviously my dad, Mr. Landon, and Robbie all had a gun. I think Landon was trying to shoot it with a 22 Magnum. My dad was trying to shoot it with a 357 Magnum, and I think Robbie had a 9mm.
Sheesh.
And we couldn't kill it initially for some reason. Like we were just missing, or it wasn't hitting in the right spot. Because to kill an alligator, you got to hit like a quarter-size spot in their head. And so we couldn't get it for whatever reason.
He's like 47 shots to the skull, and he's still rocking.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, screw you guys.
And so we, it takes off again. And I've never personally ever seen an alligator jump out of the water. This alligator, in all its glory, 13 foot and 6 inches, 816 pounds.
Good gosh.
Jumped out of the water, full body, nose to tail, 3 times, dead away from the boat.
Wow.
So then an hour goes by and we get back up to it, the hand line, we get it again, and we finally do kill it. We do get it. We get it in the boat.
How the hell do you get 13, 6, 800 plus pounds in a boat?
Very, very carefully. We almost sunk it.
Gosh.
Water started bailing in the back where I was pulling on the alligator. And so now all 8 of us, are in Robbie's boat, the 20-foot boat. And so Mr. Landon's boat is just drifting down the river. Nobody's in it.
Oh, man.
And so we pull it in finally.
Yeah.
And we're like, all right, we got to go get the other boat before we do anything else. So we go get that boat.
It was like 2 a.m. by now?
Yeah, it's probably about 1:30.
Yeah.
1:30 by now. And then my dad gets in his boat, and I'm still in Robbie's boat, and we're taking pictures and everything. Landon's got the head of the alligator open, and it slammed shut.
Oh, no.
That thing ain't dead.
No.
So we have to shoot it again in the boat.
Whew.
We,
How many people had to clean out their drawers that night?
oh, about everybody. We electrical taped it up. It was good. Then we rode back to the land. And nothing to it. You know, everybody, us 4 got back in Mr. Landon's
Where
boat.
is this at again? Where'd y'all end up finally killing it?
In the Waccamaw River. We were south of Waka Wachi Landing.
Okay, so for all the people that love going tubing and all that stuff in there and water skiing,
It wouldn't. They are there. There are alligators out there, big ones too.
no, obviously.
But
No, I'm good.
It wouldn't scare me to do any of that. I still do. I did it this year.
Oh, you crazy.
Didn't scare me.
Whoa,
I've been there in person.
Dude, good interruption. Me and Dad finally rode some waves this summer. It was like a couple weeks ago. And he always leaves G-Ma on his off days to when her soap operas come on to go ride some waves, right? And he body surfs, and he's a fish. He can go from... He beats me body surfing with me on a boogie board. Makes no sense to me. He's a fish. But we're standing there. First time I've ever seen a shark jump out of the water while I've been in the water.
Wow.
And it was probably 4 foot.
Yeah.
But I'd never seen it. Like, literally, it jumped out of a wave. And me and Dad looked at each other like, oh, shit.
We got to get out of here.
Yeah. So we backed up, went and had a cold one, got back in later. But still, man, I don't know if I could do it at an alligator. That's 13 foot 6 inches.
It was crazy. I've never experienced anything like that. And to this day, I've never seen anything like that.
All right, so you're on your way back.
Yep, we go back to the landing. And so now we have the problem of we have to get the alligator out of one boat into Mr. Landon's boat. So we all try to pull on it, and so none of that's working. So
It's dead 800 pounds.
yeah, and we're trying to pull it out of one boat onto the dock into another boat.
Is there anybody at the dock when you're there?
No, it's 2:00 in the morning. It's just us.
Could you imagine though, like just you're sitting there with like your girlfriend, and all of a sudden like these people pull out this big ass alligator and put it on the dock? You're like, what?
Can y'all give us some help?
Yeah, right.
And so we go back to Landon's house to get my dad's truck, and my dad had a come along in the back of it.
So y'all didn't have nothing to do the next day. You probably did, but you.
We didn't. Mr. Landon actually had a charter to run
Right.
at 7:00 the next morning.
Whew.
And so that's why we thought we were going to come back early. And then we got to come along. We hooked the chain around the head of the alligator. My dad was coming along in it up onto the dock. And we finally got it on the dock. Took all sorts of pictures. It was great. We were all like, heck yeah, we got it out of the boat. It was great. And then we had to roll it into the other boat. You know, not that big of a problem. Just get on one side and get the leverage, and you can get it to go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my dad was standing in Landon's boat, pulling it, obviously. Well, when we pulled it, and I was pushing, he was pulling, the head landed on his foot,
Oh,
and he almost couldn't drive home.
wow. Did you break it?
I don't know. We never went to the hospital, but it was black and blue, swollen up. It was bad.
It's an Arnette for you.
But yeah, true story.
So what happened to the alligator?
The next morning, we took it. I didn't take it anywhere. I was sleeping. They took it to the processor, and
So with all the laws, you have to obviously have the tag or whatever they call it, right?
of course,
Yeah.
the tag is currently still with it. Currently with the
Okay.
head still.
So they did he keep the head?
Yes, there we have the
Oh.
picture of it. It's mounted.
That's awesome. I need a picture. We'll post that.
I
too.
gotcha.
So he takes it to the processing plant.
Yeah, 707 processing. We took it over there, and got it processed. Got the head mounted, the hide taken off, and everything. And the rest is history. We got
Did
the
you get
head
money
back.
from it? Did he?
I don't think so, because and the way that the alligator works in South Carolina is the tag holder has to kill it. So Mr. Landon killed it, and it was his alligator officially.
Right.
That's the way it is in the books.
Right.
That's the way it is. And so I don't know. I don't think he got any money. He just got the meat and then got the head back. He purchased
Did you eat,
the head.
did you eat any of it?
I have had some. Yes.
That's cool.
Yes.
Did you name it? You
No.
name the alligator?
No.
Yeah, see his face, see what he looks like.
It's huge.
Could be our Natural Sponge podcast mascot.
It's absolutely massive.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
It's awesome.
That's cool, man.
But it's definitely one of my coolest stories. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, for sure. So how did it become a news story? Who found out about it? Because I know I read some news articles.
It is in the news. Probably not one of my favorite things that is in the news. There's a lot of backlash to it, for sure.
Oh, I'm sure. Because everybody's freaking got their panties in a wad these days.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's going to... You could go out here and daggone cut a freaking flower bloom off and somebody's going to bitch about it.
Oh, yeah.
So... But how did it get in the news?
I'm not really sure how it officially got in the news. I guess somebody called somebody, sent some pictures, and then there was literally a news report on me, my dad, and Mr. Landon. Like, we went and met the reporter and everybody.
That's cool, man. So did you? So what kind of backlash though? Because that's always fun.
There was some severe stuff where they were like, "We want to kill. We hope these people die." Blah blah blah, stuff like that.
PETA.
I don't know who it was. It was kind of anonymous on the website it was on.
Yeah.
And then there was stuff just like, you shouldn't have done that. It was a dinosaur. And then there was obviously from our buddies and other people that were just like, wow, that's awesome. What a great thing. Stuff like that.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Life, dude.
That's what it is. It's crazy.
So you don't have any hunting stories that good, do you?
That's about it. I mean, that's probably top of
like
mind.
deer hunting out in the...
No, not really.
Where's the land? I know on your Twitter. What's your Twitter, by the way? Shout it out.
It's my name, James Arnette 8. It's basic.
At James Arnette 8.
That's me.
That's about like at J Helsebeck 23.
That's it, baby.
It's easy, man. So I've seen some videos on there with your GoPro, driving around a bunch of land and stuff like that. Where is that out at in King Street or your spot out there?
That's actually.
Is that the hunting club that you guys?
Right.
Own a hunting club, or is that the land out there?
No, we out there. What I think you're talking about, that's actually in Browns Ferry. That's a piece of property we help manage. We plant some food plots, cut some stuff down, stuff like that.
Well, I was listening to a Dale Earnhardt Jr. podcast, and he was talking about he owns a hunting club. Him and Denny Hamlin own it together, and I never realized that so much. I don't know why I didn't, but so much thought goes into all that land and everything with the food plots, because he said he had hired some corporation or somebody to come in, and they were putting in food plots for the fall or for the winter and the fall and the winter. But what exactly are the self-explanatory? But how do you food plots? How do you put them in? How do you really think about it? You have an oversight of the land and you figure out where you want to go, or how's it work?
Right, pretty much. There's aerial maps of the whole piece of property, and you just kind of look at it and are like, okay, well, this piece looks good, or this piece looks good, or this doesn't look good. And then you obviously have to open it up. Sometimes there'll be open areas already. And you're like, okay, well, I think this is where we can put a deer stand. We can put a big food plot here. We can put a small food plot here, or vice versa. And you just go about it just like that. Okay, this looks good. This doesn't look good. And if you want to take it to another level, you get the soil tested for pH and things like that. And then you just go from there.
So it's in depth.
It can be very in depth, yes.
Right. How many can you kill a year in South Carolina?
Deer?
Yeah. Gators are one, right?
One, and if you're lucky to get a tag. Since we killed the big one, we have not gotten a tag for an alligator, which is frustrating. I think the DNR is cheating us.
There you go.
But I don't understand why. So in South Carolina, you can buy a bear tag, right?
A bear tag?
Like a bear, yeah.
Okay.
I've never seen a bear in my personally. I've never seen a bear in my entire life. How can you buy a bear tag, but you can't buy an alligator tag? You go out into the river right now and you'll see 5.
Government.
I don't understand.
Why is weed not legal? Government.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense at all. That's crazy. So y'all haven't gotten one since. There's no reason to it behind. What do they do? Background checks on you, and they say like, all right, well they know these guys were in the boat when this guy killed this one, so we're not going to give them a tag.
I don't know. We actually personally got a tag that year, so we killed one the week before we killed the big one on my dad's tag in our name.
Right.
And we skinned it on the back of his truck. So I don't know, but none of us have gotten a tag since that year.
Is there a certain length they have to be?
Yes, they have to be over 4 foot.
Gotcha. That's crazy, man. So a lot of in-depth stuff goes into all this stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's awesome. I love it. That's what keeps me going.
That's it. It's like it's always good. That's why I like BP golfing now. And he actually went frog gigging for the first time. What was that, last hurricane? Yeah. Oh, that was in April. That was last April, I think. Went frog gigging up in Ohio, and it was makeshift frog gigging, but it was frog gigging.
Heck yeah, man.
And so that's what I like, guys. I'm not a big advocate for all these people saying you have to play multiple sports. Don't be a one sport guy. I was basketball and baseball, but everybody's saying you have to play multiple. You can't. So many injuries occur if you just do one. I think that other things can be supplemented as opposed to another sport. Like even though golf would be considered a sport, but going golfing. Or
that's more of a
fishing.
Hobby though. It's not like if a sport, I think you're like dedicated to it. It's like, okay, I'm gonna play this sport to win.
Right.
I think for y'all, obviously there is a winning aspect of it,
competition.
but it's like, this is a hobby. I'm doing this because I like it.
Right. But like at the same time, you have the hunting and fishing, and that kind of separates you. That's like you're out from baseball. When you're doing baseball, it's time to go to work, and then we get to do this stuff. Whatever it is. It's just it's like a peaceful separation from everything.
It's the way I get away.
That's it.
You have to.
That's beautiful. You also love going. You got Big Red out there, the big truck.
Oh yeah.
So at one point this year, were you getting paid to do it from some guys? You were pulling people out of ditches, or pulling people out that would try to go mudding down here. And I never knew till you said that one day at the cage. I never knew in Suburbiaville of Myrtle Beach that there's actually places to go mudding.
Yeah.
Who knew?
There, yeah. I wasn't like getting like officially like, okay, I'm gonna charge you $50 to come and do this.
Hell, I would.
That's what my uncle said.
Hell yeah.
But I'll go and get like anybody. Like I'm not. If you're stuck, okay, I got you. I don't want because if I was stuck, I'd want somebody to come get me.
Yeah, no doubt.
But some people did like throw me a couple gift cards or something. So just for being nice, and I appreciate that.
That's cool, man. That's awesome. So, when you guys go out. You got 4-wheelers, all that stuff?
Of course, yeah. I've got one 4-wheeler and got a UTV as well, a side-by-side.
Yeah,
a couple tractors.
Oh, Nana loved that, side-by-side. I called it a mule. She said, Spawn, it's a side-by-side.
No, there is a side-by-side called a mule.
Thank you. That's what I said.
A Kawasaki mule. And they are a monster.
Right, that's what we had. We had this little mule. It had mule on the side of it back in Little League, North Forsyth Little League. That's how they drove the fields. So... that's cool, man. So I know I don't know if you're still in mourning right now or not, but your Gamecocks lost to North Carolina last weekend in football.
That's tough, man.
It is.
But we got Ryan Holinsky coming to play, so goodness gracious.
So do you think Jake Bentley's hurt, or do you think it's bullshit?
I'm not sure. I haven't really read into it. I don't want to see anybody get hurt at all whatsoever.
Right.
But I don't know. It's been a tough 4 years for him. Been a tough last 2 years, especially.
Same thing with baseball.
So I don't know.
Speaking of Gamecock baseball, you're one of the guys on here, like Padge and Hester that know this guy or seen this guy play. We haven't shouted him out lately. We got to shout out Somerville baseball. They're sending me a hat. Did I tell you that?
Let's go.
They're sending me a hat. I'll always love the green hat with the white S. I'm going to wear it to some St. James games this year. They're going to not like that, but I don't care. But no, seriously, dude, it's Cole Messina is going to be a Gamecock. So
he's a monster, dude.
I'm telling you, fan club starters over here. He actually got invited to the border battle.
Right, I saw that. I saw that. That's awesome.
Guy just hit.
And then didn't he go to Arizona for that big thing out there?
Did, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Dude's a stud.
Oh yeah.
I like the way he plays too. He has that ability about him to. He's able to slow the game down. It seems like when he plays, like any high school kid, he hit that bomb against.
River Bluff.
Was it not River Bluff? It was they ended up with Dutch Fork.
Oh.
He hit the one against Dutch Fork where he did. I think he did go yard against River Bluff too, but probably went yard against everybody. But the one at Dutch Fork, any high school kid, he was just a sophomore last year. So any high school kid that can be in a state championship playoff series, go yard, bat flip me, stand there and put my arms up to tie the game to go into extras, like that right there shows you more than you will ever need to know about a baseball player. Because as soon as every other kid in this state hits that ball, same situation, they're on a dead sprint to first base, just running. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Makes no sense.
There's no more emotion. He
yeah,
shows it.
Yeah, I love it, and he catches hell for it too. I'm sure. I know a couple times, but dude, keep doing you, Cole. That's all I gotta say.
Dude's a monster.
But big family guy, like you were saying.
Of course, family over everything. FOE.
FOE, I love it. And a big Christian too, and very you do the FCA stuff.
A little bit, yep.
And
that's
all
cool.
that. And so you're outspoken, and you don't find that much at 16 years old to be able to be a Christian and be able to, and it obviously goes from the way you're raised with your family and being mature and being able to talk to hold a conversation with anybody. What's it like for you to be able to spread the word like that, and especially in the FCA in school, like incoming freshmen and people like that, and help them, grow in their relationship with Jesus Christ. And not only that, but maybe find some light in a dark time that in 2019, let's be honest, the world is setting kids up to fail and setting them up to be depressed. How do you find a way to talk to these kids and get to them?
Right, and that's exactly why, there's so much negativity in the world. You can't get caught up in that. But if you look into the Bible, you look into the Scripture, the podcasts that talk about that. There's Bible plans on some apps and things. It's what's supposed to be said. It's what's supposed to be known, and to be able to just look into it and then put that out there for anybody that needs it it's great.
Have you ever had any backlash from that?
Never had any backlash from that. Never, not yet. I would imagine there has been some that I just hasn't got to me, but I don't really care. That doesn't matter.
Awesome, man. So what's the verse you told me this morning?
Oh, it's actually my lock screen on my phone. It says the phrase "Do not be afraid" is written in the Bible 365 times. That's a daily reminder from God to live every day fearless.
Love it. That's it. I mean, that.
Gotta remember it every day.
That's cool, man. I think the biggest thing that I see with, just you working with some younger guys this summer, working out in baseball, and just the way some of the guys, are starting to look up to you. It's more of a, a role where obviously you're portraying. You're not just walking or not just talking the talk. About the way you live your life and what you're doing. You walk it, and you're a prime example of, what I want my kids to grow up to be like, and pretty much, like I said, this world is so negative, and that's what we talk about a lot on here is social media and all that. Do you think, and we'll touch on this at the same time, I saw you over there, I always have it up here with me, the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. I talk about it all the time on the podcast, and I've read the whole book one time, like a quick, boom, read it through. And that's pretty much what I've heard to do with this book, written by Deepak Chopra. But you read it quickly, like some stuff stays with you, some doesn't. But then once you get through the whole thing, go back and then take almost a couple weeks or a month on number 1. The first law is the law of pure potentiality. And number 1, there's 3 parts to the law. Number 1 is take time each day to meditate. Number 2, and that's separate from prayer.
Right.
And then number 2 is find time to spend in nature, whether it's a sunset, whether it's, right now, there's a hurricane coming, feeling a raindrop on your face, but in silence, you know what I mean, while you're out there enjoying it. And number 3 is do not judge, and that's the hardest one, obviously, by far, so far. But I'm in that. So I saw you over there reading that, talking about you being a role model to a lot of kids, and a lot of people, a lot of peers. You have kids your age. You're a role model as well. They're calling you to come help them get them out before they would their grandpa or their dad, or and not because they're going to get in trouble for what they did. Just like, oh, James got my back. You're a guy that anybody can say, James, Arnette, boom, that guy has my back, or he'll help me out. He'll take the shirt off his back to help me if I need it. And you don't find many guys like that no more. But looking at that book and with social media and everybody in such, everybody's depressed. Everybody's just, it's a miserable time we're living in. They actually said, and I like this, I forget who was talking about it, but in 2019, we now have you know how when you're growing up, and I'm obviously 15, 16 years older than you, but when I was growing up, you would have like self-help books for weight loss, or obviously with fentanyl and all that stuff, drug addiction still is huge, but I feel like we're making this swing now because there are books now for self-help with technology, and not like computers for dummies. I'm talking self-help books on how to put your phone down, how to get off of social media, how to spend less time on your device.
Like self-help books for like phone addiction.
Yes.
Quote unquote,
Yes.
I guess.
Yes. So that's where we are now. And I feel like once we do get past this as a nation, which I'm sure like everything evolves and we'll get through it at some point. And hopefully, I mean, the kids need to get through it sooner or later. I mean, suicide's at an all-time high rate. And
This year I saw more than ever, like throughout the community. One time we were at Waccamaw playing in a game, and the coach announced it to the team after the game that someone has passed away from the community. I think it was one of the players.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been one of the players after the game. That's why he didn't show up. Yeah. That's tough stuff, man.
It's crazy, man.
That's real life, though.
It is, man. And that's what I was talking to John Peters about was, my roommate in college committed suicide. And it's awesome now that they're actually, I don't know if they've done it yet. I need to do research on this. But suicide hotline is now going to get a 3-digit number, like 911.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah, so that's really cool.
Yeah.
But in this time that we're living in, especially you're involved in it every day. I know everybody out there is going to be like, this kid is not 16 when they hear this kid talk. Like, he's definitely like 40 years old. But 16 years old, you're living it in school. You see the social media addiction. You see everything going on. You see the 7 spiritual laws. You're able to communicate. What's your take on, the book? How does that relate to your life? How do you help? How do we change, our community? How do we start with the people around us and hopefully spread the word?
Well, your shirt right there you got on, it says good vibes right there.
Good vibes only, baby.
That's where I was about to go. Good vibes only. That's where you got to start. You can't. There's so much negativity that if you dwell in it and you let all that get to you, it's not going to be good. You're going to end up in a bad spot. But if you can find one thing good from every day, it'll help you in everything. There's something good that comes out of everything, whether you realize it or not. There's always somebody that's got it worse than you. I know that sounds terrible, but if you sit there and you're like, oh, I'm in a hospital bed.
I mean, look at the Bahamas right now.
Right. We could be there. We're sitting here worrying about a Category 2 that's moving at 9 miles an hour. We could be getting blasted by a Category 5 and not know if we're going to come back with a roof on our house.
That's right.
And I don't know. You just got to keep on keeping on, and good vibes only. That's and the book. I haven't read much of the book, but I did read a couple pages. I saw you had your business card in there, and I just started right there, and it was on chapter 2 of something like the power of giving or the spirit of giving or something. Right. I think that's a big thing as well. If you definitely got to try to help other people out. For me, that like I help somebody else out, and it's like, oh wow, that was good, But I don't do it out of I'm trying to help them out so people can see it.
Back,
right, exactly.
It's not for show.
I'm doing it just because I know that's what you have to do. You have to help. If everybody helps everybody out, it'll be a better place.
That's it. And we were talking about one night because the kids don't watch much TV, like not big movie people.
Right. Yeah. Me too. I don't have a TV in my room, so I don't watch.
I told Megan, I said, I want us to sit down every night, and we're gonna watch it. They're actually like 22 minutes out of a 30-minute show that was on TV. I said every night, let's watch 2 episodes of the Andy Griffith Show, because if you watch the Andy Griffith Show, every show has a moral. You learn something. You learn about giving. You learn about compassion, and you learn about, again, helping people. And just, I mean, it's crazy, dude. I ride down the road. BP, how many people did we wave at the other day?
Like 12.
We waved it.
Not one of them waved, will they?
Not one person waved.
I'm telling you, it's the most frustrating thing ever. Like when I run in my neighborhood to stay with it, like after workouts or before workouts.
So you're working out before workouts and after workouts?
Yeah.
There you go.
Crazy
Savage, baby.
Sounds. and I'll just be running. Obviously, like we're right there up close because I'm running on the road because
Right.
it's in my neighborhood,
Right.
and I'll wave.
Yeah.
Nobody will wave back.
No, it's crazy.
It's like stupid. Like what makes you not wave? Just be a nice person.
Go to Megan's hometown. Go to Rural Hall, North Carolina. You could flick a guy off. He'll flick you back off. You can wave at him. He'll wave back at you.
Every time.
It doesn't matter. I don't understand. Do you think that's like the transplant people again too? Like, do they not wave at people in New York,
It has to be. I don't
Jersey,
know.
or whatever it is?
I don't know. I've personally never been there, but I don't know.
It's insane, dude. Like literally nobody waves.
Not one person.
It's
I'll wave at everybody just because I can, just because I like to.
yeah. How y'all doing? What's going on, buddy? People look at you about to shoot you.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness, man. I don't know. It's a weird time, and I like what you said right there about the show because there's so many people in the world, and there's, I mean, in the circle that we run in, we know a lot of the same people. I mean, out of the people we know together, there's probably 30 of them that all they care about is the show that is what is perceived by everybody else. You know, I'm completely different behind closed doors. I'm a completely different person here or there. And that's why I like the natural sponge part of it is you know from day one. You know what you're going to get with me.
Right. And that's why you've always said half the people like me, half the people won't, because I'm straight up.
That's it. I'm going to tell you how it is. And it's not opinion based when I say that. It's fact based. If I know this is true, I'm going to say it. I'm not going to change my mind because maybe you have a different opinion of a fact. If a fact's a fact, it's a fact.
That's just the way it is. An opinion and a fact are two different things. In school, I remember coming through elementary school, we would do lessons on a computer program called Compass Odyssey where we would have to differentiate from a fact or an opinion. And it's just two different things. I respect your opinion, but if it goes against a fact,
there you go.
It's not a fact.
It's not viable at all. And there's so many people, like I said, at least 30 people we know together that it's all about, can I, all right, well,
How good does this look?
I went to this church today. Y'all saw me? I did this today. Look at my car. Look at my truck. Look at my boat. Look at my house. Look at my, you know what I mean? And I get it. Everybody wants to keep up with the Joneses.
Right.
It's always, that's life. That's been like that since
forever.
Yeah, the start of time. But we've lost the fellow man, help the fellow man, the golden rules, the take the shirt off your back guys, the old, I mean, you look at old papas, grandpas, whatever you want to call them, no matter how tough and crazy some of them were, they were good men.
The best. That's just the way it is.
How many good men you know, man?
It's very few.
It's wild, man. So that's what I like about, I think past your work ethic and your talent on the baseball field and in the box, and your future is bright not only because of that stuff, but because of your ability to be true to yourself and keep working and keep going.
And that's the way that, like, I've always thought about it. I don't care and I don't want to say I don't care. I don't think care is the right word.
Right.
But I'm not worried so much about what other people think about what I'm doing or the way I look or how
people
I do
don't
something.
Talk. They don't talk.
No matter what.
Yep.
And I've always thought about it. Whether you do what you want or you do what somebody else wants, you're never going to please everybody. And somebody's always going to have something to say, so you might as well do what you want.
It ain't no point in trying to please everybody.
No, it's not going to happen.
I'll never forget your dad one time. It was the greatest. My dad still talks about it. It was, I don't know. Were you there? You weren't there at the grocery store, were you?
I don't know. Was I?
I don't think you were. We were at the grocery store, me and Pops, and we was doing something, and I was talking to your dad, and he was like, "How's the team looking?" This is the year before. Like, you were still in the process of becoming the stud, right? So you hadn't even played travel ball. You did your rec ball stuff and, all that. And then I was like, well, so-and-so just quit. Literally, not a second goes by. He looks at me and goes, so? And, like, this dude was, like, one of our better players. Not that we were good.
Right.
But I was like, so-and-so just quit. He's like, so?
And that's how my dad is.
He was like, okay.
To this day.
He was like, what does that matter? He's like, you still got a team. You still going. I'm like, I guess you're right. Like I was, you're so invested in guys, and I had my own mindset. It's probably why I got screwed by 2 or 3 businessmen when I moved down here. But I had my own vision of how people were because I thought people were still Rural Hall people, you know what I mean, or King Street people. or Cheshire, Ohio people. I thought we were still like in a normal place. Apparently not. And so I'm like, oh man, you know, this was like one of my guys. I can't believe he left. And I'm like, yeah, this is so and so. So okay,
Move on.
I'm like, damn, and that stuck with me. And Dad says it all the time. He's like, dude, I love that guy because that was like the coolest thing ever. So okay, but that stuck with me moving forward in my businesses is like, you're always gonna have people are gonna come and go, right?
Always.
And there's no reason to invest your pure energy in anybody but your circle. And I think once that moment, see, this is we find roots of things here on Natural Sponge. I think the brotherhood was kind of formed around that Jim Arnette quote. So okay, so now you're still going, but he's no longer a part of your circle. So fuck it.
Right, and maybe we can go even further than that. You have an inner circle. The way I like to think about my friends, my family, my community, I have the inner circle that I'll do anything for. That's my people that I hang out with. I hang out with very few people, like
I'm a loner.
2 or 3 maybe.
My neighbors have to think I'm the biggest dick in the world.
Yeah, like I just chill out.
I wave though.
Right.
They need help, I'll help them. But they're always like, "Hey, what y'all doing? The girls home? They want to come out and play?" I'm like, "No, close the door."
They good.
Nah, we good, man. No,
Right.
But, yeah.
But you have your inner circle, and then you have your outer circle of people, like connections. Like that kid was still in the connections if he wanted to come back or if he needed lessons or something.
Right.
But he wasn't in the inner circle that you were going to worry about the whole time.
Correct.
Anymore.
Love it. Exactly. It's beautiful.
That's just the way I think about it.
You're spot on.
And people come and go, just like you were saying. One person might be here for a period of time to help you learn something or to teach you something, but they might leave at a point in time, and somebody else may come in. So.
Correct. And I'm not going to be a broken record on the podcast, but so make sure I show you the story of the Chinese farmer before you leave.
Okay.
Or you need to go back and listen to all the podcasts, and you would have heard it.
I have. You said it on Hunters.
Did I read it to him, the whole thing? I think I read it on which one is that? Number 6, just me. I think I read it, the whole thing. But it's cool, though. It's pretty much like an event happens, and good, who knows? Bad, who knows? Like, you don't know if it's going to be good or bad. It could be the best thing in the world. Your girlfriend could break up with you, and it's the most devastating thing in the world. But it could lead you to the best thing. You don't know.
Right.
And
that goes back to the thing talking about the faith and the everything with God. You got to just trust it.
That's it, man.
Keep on keeping on.
That's it.
Everything happens for a reason. I'm a believer in that.
Oh, 100%. And I mean, you win the lottery, best thing ever. Could be the worst thing that ever happened to you. You don't know.
You see all those TV shows and all the articles about people living on the streets doing drugs now because they won the lottery.
Oh, 100%. And you're spot on with everything happens for a reason.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
You know, I mean, I sat there. It was my last tweet. We talked about it on Hunter Spencer's podcast. Was Tyler Skaggs dying?
The glad to be alive.
Yeah,
yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm lucky to be alive, man.
I'm telling you what.
Thank you, Lord. I mean, I know for a fact, and listen, all my listeners out there, I don't do this now, okay? But again, a learning time of your life is I've had twice as much. I never had fentanyl, but hydrocodone, liquid hydrocodone, and Xanax, and I've had twice as much alcohol and crap that he had in his system that he died on multiple occasions back when my back was injured. Right. And I'm still here.
And it was just a fluke thing that he happened to.
It's crazy.
Hit it at the wrong time.
I mean, I can't, you know what I mean? That if that don't make you believe in something and think everything happens for a reason, now I'm able to work with guys. We're able to do the podcast. We're able to, I'm able to be here with 3 awesome kids. And when Paisley's here, I get to, you know, be a good dad to her. Like it's cool how, you know, all those times that are horrible in your life lead to great things. You know what I mean?
You got to live and learn. Through everything, you have to live and learn.
That's it. Good and bad, baby.
All of it.
So we'll go ahead and we got a curfew on you coming up soon over at the house.
Oh yeah, man.
My dad just texted me. This is money right here for the podcast.
Okay.
He just texted me and said that Surfside Beach, on the Weather Channel, They just showed the pollen count for Surfside Beach for tomorrow. LOL. What? There is a hurricane coming, and they're showing us the pollen count for tomorrow.
Look at all these people out in Charleston on the Weather Channel right now, dancing around. Nothing's going on out there. Why are we looking in Charleston?
I don't know, but I am glad to know that hopefully I don't know if the pollen count's going to be high or low tomorrow, but if it's low, I'm glad I won't sneeze during the flipping hurricane. Like, what in the hell, man? The Weather Channel is the biggest crock of crap I've ever seen. No, but you're a croc guy? Crocs? Not crocodiles and alligators you like to kill, but like the shoes.
Me personally, no. My father
Yes.
has about 6 pairs.
Yes.
So
Let's go.
him and my sister, big croc fans.
Let's go. And for some reason, I'm not a big camo guy, even though I'm a country guy. I'm not a big camo guy. I have some camo pants and stuff. And I don't understand this one either. Why you wear camo when like you go like quail hunting? Why it's a big bad quail doesn't kill you or see you or something?
I don't wear camouflage when I go quail hunting.
Okay, very
Just
good.
gonna put that out there.
Very good. Thank you, sir. I've never been quail hunting actually.
Oh, it's great.
Is it?
I love it.
You eat it?
Yes.
Let's go.
It's great.
I'll eat it. But no, I just got them for the first time when we went back to school shopping. Megan snagged me a pair, dude. And I lost a gibbet. Is that what they're called? Gibbet?
The little things?
Yeah, I lost a
something like that.
Fleur-de-Lis on this foot, but I still got my 2 or 3 over here. But, dude, they're comfortable. We went to the zoo, and I wore them for like 6 hours. They're freaking awesome. No, why don't you wear them?
Pretty much I wear like 3 pairs of shoes. My Vans that I have on. My Sperry's. I'm a Sperry guy. I work on the dock. I live on the dock. I'm a boat boy.
Yeah.
And then my boots. And other than that,
Yeah.
I have my spikes on the baseball field. I don't wear anything else.
There you go. Can't beat it, man. So does he have that was my camo one. Does Jim have the camo Crocs?
He did. I don't think we have them anymore. But he likes the colors. He likes colors.
Yeah.
And then he has a couple pairs with fur in them.
Ooh, for the wintertime.
Yeah,
I
for
like
the wintertime, man.
I like that. That's a vibe in itself.
And then
Does
he's
he wear
got
socks with them?
sometimes.
Okay.
But he has some that are like medical insoled. They're like
Ooh.
super soft. So he's got those too.
Sweet. I found a pair of Sanooks at Marshalls or Ross for $14.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with them. They feel good.
Hey.
They work. No, but the reason I was saying the camo was because I'm not a big camo guy, but I see the camo Crocs, and I don't know what kind of camo they've put on there, but I love the camo Crocs for some reason.
I think it. I've seen some that is like not mossy oak.
Real tree?
Duck blind camo.
Okay.
It's like duck blind.
Yeah, with the wheat.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the ones. I love
Yeah.
those, dude. I gotta check into those. That's cool, man. So hurricane prep. You guys got everything inside. What are you guys doing for the hurricane?
Nothing. I mean, obviously you have to be prepared. You have to have all your stuff together. But we got our water. We got the generator ready. Tomorrow we will end up moving my boats and my tractor and everything into trailers to get all that secured down and put it out of the way.
Yeah.
But really, we're ready. I mean,
There
we
you
don't put up hurricane boards. We don't sandbag.
Yeah.
Let's just stock up on food and water and let's go for it.
There you go. Ride it, baby. Just make sure if anybody listens, if I get up in time, anybody needs sandbags down at, was it Bill Martin Park in Surfside? That little park down there?
Not sure.
Martin Park. I don't know if it's Bill, but Martin Park in Surfside, they just dumped off 4 dump truck loads of sand.
Yeah, and if you check on gator1079.com, they have the hurricane little logo up there that has all the security information, the preparedness information, the weather channel, and things like that, in case anybody needs that.
Can't beat it. Look at that. We're a well-rounded, well-oiled machine here at Natural Sponsor and Friends. Dude, love the Gator story. You're a big country music guy. Do you like bluegrass?
I've listened to a little bit of bluegrass, yes.
Okay,
of course.
Make sure I send you the Alan Bybee in Grasstown. That's the guy I was telling you about, the bluegrass mandolin player.
Oh, yeah.
He was going to come on. Some show got canceled somewhere in Tennessee, and so they went and played the show. But Alan Bybee, he's number 4 on the bluegrass charts in the world.
That's awesome.
The guy's going to come on the podcast.
That's awesome.
That's going to be cool. So, big Florida Georgia Line guy too, right?
Yeah, just got back. That's what we saw in Atlanta on Saturday. And I saw him at the Country Music Festival in June as well.
Cool story about them. You ever met them?
I've never met them, no.
The lead guy, the long-haired guy.
Okay.
Or I don't know his haircut now, but
Yep.
the lead guy.
There's BK and Tyler.
Okay, who's the main guy?
They're both pretty much main. I think Brian Kelly's a little bit more
Okay,
main.
well, whichever one, I can show you a picture and tell you. One of them was a douche. The other one's super awesome guy. Back in, jeez, man, 2012 or 13, I was working at a place called Block Party, and I was getting bands to come into there, and it was right across from the Boathouse. They've already shut down now. Boathouse has they got everybody in there. So Florida Georgia Line comes to the Boathouse on the summer concert thing.
Oh yeah.
Before anybody knows who they are.
Right.
This is what's the first song?
Cruise maybe.
It was Cruise. I think it was
Okay.
there. Yeah, it was Cruise had just come out on the radio and nobody knew. It was like the first time you hear a song and you're like, who sings that? You know
Right.
what I mean? And you never check to see who it is. And then they put out another song. You're like, oh hell, that was
It's
them.
the same people.
Right. So they were just starting, and so I'm at Block Party, and we're doing these concerts and stuff. So I've got to go with the guy over at Boathouse. So anyway, me and the guy that owned the Block Party at the time, another guy that screwed me out some money back in the day, and his wife, his daughter. I think Frank was there. We have to talk about Frank. I'm not sure Frank was there or not. Anyway, we all go over. We get to go on their bus with them, drink. I mean, we partied with them before, watched the show on stage, and partied with them after.
Wow.
I slept at Block Party on the stage we had. I found a blanket in the back. Slept there that night because I was not driving home that night. I don't even know if I could have,
Could have
but,
walked
dude,
any further.
I'm talking they can party. Now they both got married and stuff since then.
Yeah, they've married, and I think both of them have 2 kids. So
Yeah, so
they've settled down a
They
little bit.
have. I'm sure they have. If they hadn't settled down, if they did that every night, what they did that night, they wouldn't be alive. But no, they were cool, man. The one guy, he just wasn't really talkative, you know what I mean? But the other guy, he was super awesome guy.
That's awesome.
Like he was playing. We played beer pong. We played, and he was awesome.
Did
dude.
you
He was
win?
cool. Oh, you know I did.
Let's
You
go.
know, I played beer pong with him. We beat. The other dude.
y'all
Yeah.
were playing together.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you, I've never seen one guy be able to make a bottle of Crown disappear so quickly.
Wow.
This was before the show.
Wow.
Savage. It was cool. But yeah, man. Keep doing you. Do you blah blah blah, dude? Keep doing you, man. Thanks for coming on. And you got. I mean, you're out of school for the hurricane. You got
Hurricane, baby.
Hurricane. I like that. You got workouts coming up. You got the winter time. Keep grinding. Keep doing you. And when you step on a baseball field, dude, let everything go. Just let it go. Play the game as a kid, and know that all the work you put in, and that goes for everybody in every sport. Once you get on that field, that's a separation. And like I was telling you today, man, I love guys that can be, game days are for players, and I think not for coaches. Game days are for players, and I think that guys like yourself, guys like Cole Messina, guys like Ethan Salik's able to be his own guy, especially on the mound. He's
ready to roll.
Yeah.
Dude is a monster.
Yeah, and guys like that are able to separate and say, all right, I'm not going to be a robot, not going to be a cookie cutter. I'm going to go out and let your personality fly. Those are the guys that always make it, dude. But keep helping everybody you can. Natural Sponge and friends, everybody out there, thanks for coming on, James.
Always glad to be here.
Any other cool stories you got, make sure you write them down for our next podcast. You got to get on again because that was another easy hour and a half done in the books. But make sure. Real quick, are you an old school country guy like Waylon Jennings and?
I do listen. I listen to a little bit with my dad. My dad. And my mama likes a little bit of that too. It'll surprise you.
There you go. B got on some old George Jones one time.
Oh yeah.
He was on George Jones kick for like 3 days. You don't remember that?
No.
But he was for like 3 days. He was on a George Jones kick and some Waylon Jennings, dude. So, but yeah, George Strait, Garth Brooks, those guys.
Yeah, loved all that.
All right,
George Strait, my man.
My mom says he's the most perfect man alive.
I'm telling you, if he comes down here anywhere close that I can go see a concert, I will be there.
Oh, I would love to. I haven't seen him. He's one of the only guys I haven't seen, I think. But no, man, thanks for coming on, dude. Everybody out there, stay safe during the hurricane. Natural Sponge and Friends, obviously brought to you by our partners, Charlotte Concert Guide and the 704. Make sure you guys check them out for all your concert needs. Maybe we can call Charlotte Concert Guide, get some tickets if George ever comes up in the 704.
I'd go.
Let's go.
You let me know. I'm
We're
down.
There. We're there. Also, obviously, as always, powered by Diamond Wizards Baseball. And yes, John Mullahan, if you listen to pod number 12, I'm still wearing the Vertical Church hat. So, Vertical Church Group hat. So, make sure you guys check out Phoenix Roasters Coffee on all social media and look at what they do and what their service is to all these communities overseas. And everybody does mission trips with and all that stuff. Coffee that matters is pretty cool. Make sure you guys stay safe. Make sure you guys listen to Natural Sponge and Friends. And what do you think?
Good vibes only.
Yeah.